The South Today Bulletin, proudly brought to you in association with MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Tonight on the South Today, Dunedin pubs are uniting together, supporting an iconic Caversham establishment that was ravaged in a recent fire. A group of environmentalists are in a race against time, hoping to save a rare South Island bird from extinction. And a Canterbury motorhead millionaire is showcasing his large collection, sharing his passion for anything on wheels. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Simon Henderson. Dunedin pubs are lending a helping hand, rallying together to show support for a popular Caversham pub. The future of Mitchell's Tavern has been up in the air after a fierce blaze tore through the establishment last month, leaving many locals heartbroken and staff without jobs.
The tragic remains of once a bustling social hub for the Dunedin community. A fire tore through Mitchell's Tavern in the early hours of the morning last month, with the incident later being ruled an accident caused by an electrical fault in the kitchen. Manager Stephen Morris was devastated by the result of the blaze, still holding on hope that his beloved restaurant and bar can be rebuilt.
It's all just waiting on all the insurance people to do all their work and come back to us after they've talked to the building owner and find out where we go from here.
The fire also left employees facing some uncertainties, but local pubs have come together to give them a temporary workplace. They're taking in staff from the tavern, offering up fixed-term contracts until the future of Mitchell's becomes much clearer.
They've all rallied around and been more than helpful to place as many of them as they can.
Morris says the outpouring support from the local pubs and community has been heartwarming, but admits decisions on the future of the tavern will be a very slow process. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Proposed designs for the new Otago Regional Council headquarters have been released and are set to provide a more modern look to the central district. Port Otago is redeveloping the former Central Dunedin warehouse site on McLagan Street, transforming it into a new centralised office space for the ORC. The over $54 million headquarters will look to make space for around 300 regional council staff, with the new design hoped to lift the look of the area. However, Port Otago Chief Executive Kevin Winders says the design is still being consulted and changes may be made. The redevelopment project remains on track to be completed by the end of next year. A group of dedicated conservationists are on a mission trying to save an iconic yellow South Island bird from extinction. You might recognise them from the $100 note, but the Mohua is a lot more common in your wallet than in the wild.
A flash of yellow in a forest of green. These native New Zealand birds are becoming more of a rare sight. The Mohua, also known as the yellowhead, was once the most common forest bird in the South Island, but that was 2 centuries ago. The species is now facing a rapid decline. It's not the first time the bird has been on the brink of extinction, but Forest and Bird have been trying to build their numbers back up for the past 25 years.
Right now we have a terrible rat plague occurring in the Makarora Valley. It's quite widespread, it's elsewhere in Otago, but we're particularly concerned because we have a very good population of Mohua surviving up there.
Rat plagues occur every few years thanks to the warming temperatures in the area, bringing a plethora of pests into the Mohua's Hast Pass habitat. But volunteers at Forest and Bird are doing everything they can to help the endangered bird, increasing traps and designing predator-proof nests for the Mohua.
Predators can't get in, and hopefully over time the birds will find it and use it, or it will just be another option.
They are planning to launch a Give a Little campaign, calling for people to give a Mohua for Mohua, aiming to raise $20,000 before September in an effort to save the yellowheads. In Mount Aspiring, the South Today.
Excitement is building in Dunedin for the city's first game of the FIFA Women's World Cup tonight, with the Swiss team getting a sneak peek of the local stadium.
Rugby posts have been replaced with football goals at the Dunedin Stadium as the Swiss women's football team got a first look at their new stomping ground. The team have chosen Dunedin as their base for the FIFA Women's World Cup. They've been settling into the southern conditions after arriving in the city last week. It's the first time the team have visited the stadium, having a chance to explore the empty grounds before lacing up for an afternoon training session at Logan Park. Swiss forward Ramona Bachmann says she's confident in her team's ability to get the job done in their opening match, as she's set to play her first game under the roof of a covered stadium. A crowd of around 20,000 people is expected for Switzerland's first game on Friday night as they take on the Philippines, following the football Ferns' upset win against Norway in the World Cup's opening match. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Canterbury millionaire Dean Graham is planning to open up his large collection of historic vehicles and memorabilia to the public. The son of the late Mainfreight co-founder Neil Graham wants his collection to inspire people and to value and preserve motoring history.
A man cave many people can only dream of. What started out as a small project for Southland man Dean Graham quickly ballooned into a 420 square metre man cave, which now dwarfs his family home. Since 2020, Graham and partner Liana Bush have been curating an impressive collection of 29 cars and 214 motorbikes, with every item having its place.
This is madness. A little bit of an expression of my quirkiness, I think, and my collection of things that we've sort of.
Well, you've collected.
Well, I've collected and I've had lying around in lots of different areas and on the farm and stuff, and it's good to put it all under one roof.
The pride of his collection is two of the actual Harley-Davidson motorcycles used in the 1969 cult classic movie, Easy Rider. Graham says he's got his love for bikes from his dad, the late Mainfreight co-founder Neil Graham. Now the Southland couple are preparing to open the man cave to the public, with plans to charge gold coin entry, which will be donated to charity.
It's been 2.5 years, almost 3 years. Yeah, so we're over it. Look, we're going to have people through. We already have had people through, and we've got a lot more people that want to come through.
Sort of groups.
Groups, car clubs, motorcycle clubs.
Graham is also well known in Canterbury for his generosity in paying forward people's groceries.
It just changes people's perspective on other people.
Well, you kind of do it on the radar too. Yeah. He'll pay for groceries, he'll give it to the checkout and just walk out. So no one really knows.
The pair are hoping visitors will be inspired by some of the historic items on display, including one of the original Martin jetpacks. In Southland, the South Today.
E whāakime, still to come on the South Today. Otago vault star Dean Foxcroft gets the call up to the Black Caps after a long struggle, and a 5-ton wooden eagle sculpture is flying out of the nest in Queenstown.
Winter Boxing Day sale. John's reduced everything, no exceptions. Save 15 to 50% on Dunedin's biggest range of furniture and beds at Dunedin's lowest prices. My mate John.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Drive away your way with 3 incredible offers on the Honda CR-V Adventure Ready range. Choose from 2.9% finance with 0 deposit, third finance, or lease a new CR-V from just $136 per week. These offers are only available for a limited time, so be in quick. From Honda.
Aero, used by Australia's top bowlers with their unique Z-scoop grip that redefines the game. Machined with robotics for unparalleled accuracy, Aero, same line, every time.
Here at Age Concern Otago, we offer a range of services to support Otago seniors to age well with dignity and independence. We provide social work support, visiting service, health promotion and social activities. Check out what we have on offer at ageconcernotago.com.
The sun may be lower in the sky, but that doesn't lower the risk from skin cancer. Melanoma doesn't care about the season and will continue growing regardless. Don't let shorter days shorten your days. Book a full body mole map now.
And welcome back. An Otago cricketer has got the call up to the big show, being announced in the Black Caps squad for their upcoming tour, following on from a tough battle. South African-born player Dean Foxcroft has had an outstanding season for the Volts, returning to the country after border struggles throughout COVID-19 restrictions.
Questions have been answered for cricketer Dean Foxcroft after his career was up in the air for a couple of years. The South African-born player now calls Dunedin his home since joining the Otago Volts back in 2019. The all-rounder had an outstanding season for the team this year, earning him the call-up to the Black Caps for their upcoming United Arab Emirates tour.
There was a lot of emotion, a lot of tears going on there, especially my old man. He was very over the moon and he couldn't stop crying at the same time with me as well.
But this achievement hasn't come without its struggles. Foxcroft went back to South Africa at the end of the 2019-20 season when COVID-19 arrived and shut the borders. He spent the next 2 years fighting to come back to NZ to play the game he loves, finally returning in 2022 when the borders were opened back up.
That's a cool story to tell now, and obviously look where I am now, but that's only the start. I think there's a lot of stuff needs to happen now going forward.
He is set to take part in the 3-game UAE T20 tour with the Black Caps in Dubai next month. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A giant wooden sculpture at a Queenstown property is seeking a new home, with the owner sad to say goodbye to his 5-ton friend.
It's a striking sight on your drive to Glenorchy, and this behemoth of a bird perched in Bob's Cove is now being put up for sale. The impressive 5-ton mahogany eagle sculpture is currently perched up at the 46 Tui Drive property, which is also for sale. The wooden carved piece stands at 3.5 metres tall and spans 15 metres from wingtip to wingtip. Owner Mark Wilkstrom spotted the giant bird in Bali while he was having lunch with his wife back in 2021. He decided the giant sculpture was a must-have and arranged to have the unique artwork brought back to New Zealand in a shipping container. Wilkstrom says the bird's probably a bald eagle, but he liked the art piece as he thought it looked similar to the harsh eagles that used to live in the mountains behind his house. And while he admits it'll be sad to see it go, he's being forced to part ways with his giant wooden pet, as there's no room for it on his new property. In Queenstown, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. The future of Mitchell's Tavern still remains uncertain, but staff are receiving a helping hand from local pubs. Forest and Bird are calling for help from the community to prevent the Mohua birds from becoming extinct. And Canterbury millionaire Dean Graham is sharing his love for motoring history, opening his large collection of memorabilia to the public. Time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, this weekend is mostly fine inland and in the west, but onshore airflow will bring cloud to the Otago coast tomorrow and rain on Sunday. Heading to the top of the South Island, Nelson has fresh easterlies and some cloud with 13 degrees, a high of 16 for Greymouth with strong easterlies and some high cloud. Christchurch is looking at increasing southerlies with rain and a high of 10 degrees. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago, Ashburton will see increasing southerlies and rain, a high of 10. Timaru is cloudy with moderate easterlies and a high of 9. Oamaru is also on 9 degrees with cloudy moderate northeasterlies. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, it's the same across the board for Wānaka, Queenstown and Alexandra with light northeasterlies, fine and a high of 11 degrees. Heading further south, Balclutha and Gore are looking at moderate northeasterlies, fine with a high of 12. The Catlins is a little cooler on 9 degrees, cloudy with fresh northeasterlies. Down to Invercargill is mostly fine tonight, fine and sunny tomorrow with a high of 14. Sunday has easterly quarterly winds and milder temperatures, a high of 13. Finally, heading to Dunedin, cloudy tonight with northeasterlies, mostly cloudy tomorrow with fresh, breezy and cold northeast winds, rain developing tomorrow night, a low of 8. Sunday is looking overcast with periods of rain and fresh cold southeasterly winds, a low of 8. And that's the news this Friday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. You can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. We're also on Facebook. Just search for The South Today NZ to see our favourite stories from around the regions. We'll see you again tomorrow. Ka kite a papu.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.